Last episode we rebuilt the gold farm, now it's time for the bartering farm. Welcome to a new episode on the single player world, and in this one we'll be working in the nether again. First thing that I want to do is rebuild the bartering farm, because the one that we have right now has one big flaw. As of now, we're overloading the piglins with gold. This means that gold gets into the output system and it clogs the entire thing up. So we'll have to figure out a way to separate the gold from the other drops and maybe even time the gold dispenser. But for now, let's try to figure out a system that does exactly that for us. We'll start out with some hoppers as an output. We'll use some pink wool to set up a filter. That way we can filter out any gold that does make it through the piglins. The yellow wool is for the redstone line that will power the rest of the system. Basically, we'll take an output whenever something passes by that isn't gold and use that to dispense more gold. To dispense gold, we'll set up the orange line that powers the dispenser but also locks the hopper for a few seconds. That way the piglin has some time to pick up the gold. And technically, that's all we need. I am adding this little green bit at the top, which will make sure that the system always has gold in the dispenser, or well, the hopper above it. And when it doesn't, it will keep feeding gold into it. And that's one unit done. Well, technically I have two. That one I was tinkering with to make sure everything worked. But we'll need 6 more. So enjoy some music while I repeat this a couple more times. Alright, the system is functional. We are missing some piglins, but it's working. Moving the piglins is actually pretty easy. We already have 5 of them in the old farm, so we can just transport these with some minecarts from this farm to, well, their new compartments. The 3 extra ones are going to require a bit more rail and some extra name tags. I still have the platform set up from when I spawned the old piglins in, so we just can use that and catch some more. We got them all set up over here, and now it's just a matter of moving them in one by one. And then we can just start filling up the system with gold, and while we wait for some more gold to come out of the gold farm, we can add a jumpstart system using some light blue wool and a system to shut off the entire farm with some more yellow wool. Now it's just a matter of covering this up. Not because we want to seal up the walls and stuff, but mostly because of spawn proofing. And that's it. It's a functional farm. I'll keep loading in some more gold throughout the episode, but let's move on to something less technical and more aesthetically pleasing. I want to start the Nether Hub project today. I have an idea of what I want it to look like, but I'll need some more sandstone and maybe even some endstone, so let's go and gather some before I tell you what it's gonna look like. So for the Nether Hub project, I want to build a road network between all the portals. As an inspiration, I've been looking at these Parisian style townhouses, so we'll be using a lot of sandstone and those just brownish sandy tones. This wool is mainly for reference, just so I have a bit of a vibe of how wide these are gonna be and how tall they are gonna be. And since repetition and segmentation is a distinct feature of these types of townhouses, we can build one segment and then repeat it all the way up. So let's see what we can make of it. I think a flat wall might be a good idea, just to start off with. We'll add this 2x3 window in there, It's pretty bare for now, but when repeated, we can get a uniform building. And then later, we can get some depth in it using some neat little tricks. But I think I might do this as a time lapse, that way you can kind of see how it comes together as a whole. As for the roof, we'll build up a steep line of blackstone. Of course, all of this needs to be spawn-proofed, so we'll be using some blackstone pressure plates as well. With the use of some copper on the side, we can add some lines to it for a bit of a detail. And with all of this, I think we have a good base to work on. The only thing we're missing is some texture. In the main wall of the construction, we'll add some cut sandstone, that way we get that little brick feeling. And for the roof, we'll use actual blackstone bricks. And that's about it. This is the style that I want to continue throughout the entire Nether Hub. It's gonna take a while, for sure, but this is meant to be a long-term project and I'll mostly be working on it on streams. I'll bring it back into the videos once in a while so you can see the progression, but it's mostly a stream project. For now, let's get some extra facades next to this one. Seeing the three of these next to each other, I'm getting really excited about this, but for now I'll leave them be and take down the old bartering farm, as there's a lot of useful stuff in there that we can reuse. The little farm has done its work in the past, but the new one is bigger, has more piglins, and it's just a bit more efficient, so this one can go right back into its shulker boxes. And I do think that I'll let all of these items despawn because I won't be using them anytime soon. But yeah, now that's all the items back into their boxes, the redstone back into the redstone box, and now I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with the rest of these buildings. We'll see about that in the next video, I guess. Bye!